You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 18th of September. Cloudburst in India's Uttarakhand leaves 10 missing, homes swept away. Activists in Geneva protest against Pakistan's atrocities in Sindh. And Bangladesh ex-PM Hasina and family members barred from voting in elections. And now for all the details. At least 10 people are missing after a cloudburst triggered by torrential rain in Chamoli district of India's Uttarakhand on Wednesday night forced houses to be buried under debris. A team from the National Disaster Response Force and ambulances reached the affected area to carry out search and rescue operations. However, adverse weather conditions were hampering the rescue efforts, with the weather department forecasting more heavy rain in Chamoli. The state government has issued a red alert for Dehradun, Champawat and Udham Singh Nagar, warning extremely heavy rain in these areas. Recurring cloudbursts and flash floods have killed dozens in Uttarakhand, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Some experts blame this phenomenon on climate change.
जनपद चमोली में नंदानगर घाट स्थान है, वहां पर गांव में बादल फटा है और बादल फटने के कारण कई मकान क्षतिग्रस्त हुए हैं। दो गांव हैं बेसिकली। एक गांव है कुंतरी लगा फाली, इसमें 8 लोग, और दूसरा है धुरमा, इसमें 2 लोग अभी लापता चल रहे हैं। कुछ पशुओं की हानि बताई गई है। राहत बचाव टीमें रात में ही घटना के तत्काल बाद मौके पर पहुंच गई थी। उनके द्वारा राहत बचाव कार्य किया जा रहा है और बाकी टीमें भी रास्ते में जा रही हैं, लेकिन नंदप्रयाग और घाट के बीच में 6 स्थानों पर रास्ता बाधित हुआ है। इसके कारण अन्य टीमों को पहुंचने में विलंब हो रहा है।
And in the wake of the newly signed Strategic Mutual Defense Agreement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, India on Thursday issued a response stating that it will closely study the pact's implications for India's national, regional and global stability. The agreement was inked during a state visit by Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Wednesday. According to a joint statement issued following the visit, the agreement states that any aggression against either country shall be considered an aggression against both. In a response to a media query, India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal stated that New Delhi acknowledges the formalization of what it described as a long-standing arrangement between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, while noting that it would closely examine its potential ramification. The statement further stated that the government remains committed to protecting India's national interests and ensuring comprehensive national security in all domains. And activists from the World Sindhi Congress turned the spotlight on Pakistan, accusing it of systematic human rights violations in Sindh. From enforced disappearances to land grabbing and environmental destruction, protesters demanded urgent global action. Take a look.
The World Sindhi Congress organized a protest on Wednesday outside the UNHRC during its 60th session in Geneva, highlighting what it called grave human rights violations in Sindh, Pakistan. The demonstration, attended by activists from Sindh, Balochistan, Bangladesh and across Europe, drew attention to enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, persecution of religious minorities, and large-scale environmental damage caused by new canals on the Indus River. Protesters also condemned military-backed land grabbing and corporate farming schemes that have displaced rural communities.
The atrocities have become so terrible, it has become unbearable. The whole Sindhi nation, the whole Sindhi society is reeling and suffering in the pain that is inflicted on Sindhi people by the Pakistan, which is in fact not an ordinary state. It is an army state run by army, for the army, and they don't even bothered that what the world will say. It is a rogue state and they are committing crimes against Sindhi people of anything.
The World Sindhi Congress also held a gathering titled the Sindh Conference on the sidelines of the UNHRC session in Geneva. The activists urged the UN to establish a fact-finding mission in Sindh, halt canal construction, end land grabbing, and hold perpetrators of human rights abuses accountable under international law.
Sindhi people are still under subjugation, still under slavery, still under huge discrimination, and Pakistani agencies, whoever raises the voice of Sindhi people, whoever raises the voice for their rights, they kidnap them, they disappear them, and eventually some of them we receive the mutilated body.
And the Taliban administration has imposed an internet ban across 5 northern Afghan provinces: Kunduz, Badakhshan, Baglan, Takhar and Balkh, citing the need to prevent immoral activities. Officials confirmed that all fiber optic connections to homes, offices and businesses have been cut, though mobile data access remains available. This marks the first regional internet shutdown since the Taliban's 2021 takeover, adding to its sweeping restrictions that include banning girls' secondary education, barring women from many jobs, and codifying strict morality rules such as mandatory face coverings for women and beards for men. Taliban officials said an alternative would be provided for essential services without clarifying details. The move has drawn criticism. Former US envoy Zalmay Khalilzad called the ban absurd, arguing that countries concerned about the pornography usually filter content instead of blocking access entirely. Rights groups and foreign governments continue to condemn the Taliban's clampdown on women's freedoms and expression. And Bangladesh Election Commission Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed on Wednesday said that ousted PM Sheikh Hasina and several of her family members will be unable to vote in the upcoming 13th National Parliamentary election as it has blocked their national identity cards. Akhtar Ahmed further said that the upcoming parliamentary election will allow both in-country and out-of-country voting. Bangladeshis living abroad will have to register online, and a system is currently being developed for this purpose. However, those whose NID is blocked will not be able to vote from abroad. In April this year, under the instructions of ASM Humayun Kabir, Director General of the Poll Body's NID Division, Sheikh Hasina and 10 members of her family had their NIDs blocked, the Dhaka Tribune reported. General elections are expected to take place in Bangladesh in February next year. And Nepal, a country that saw serious upheavals last week, the flames that burned government buildings on September 9 gave rise to a national movement demanding reforms. However, even as the country achieved a huge political transformation under Gen Z's leadership, tens of thousands of youth could be prevented from exercising their right to vote under the existing law. As per a subsection of Voter Registration Act, no voter shall be enrolled in the voters list for the purpose of an election after the election date has been declared. As a consequence of this act, tens of thousands of youth voters may be barred from the polls next March. Now, Nepal's interim government has planned an ordinance to enroll the Gen Z voters. Acting Chief Election Commissioner Ram Prasad Bhandari assured that the Election Commission is in discussions with the government to clear the prevailing legal complexities. The Election Commission had started preparatory work as soon as the election date was announced, Bhandari added. And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.